What's going on, you guys? So I know I'm predominantly a boxing channel. In fact, that's like the only sport I've covered since making this channel. But I am a fan of certain guys in the UFC. You know, I've been aware of certain dudes growing up that, you know, have been big names in the sport. But right now, Ilia Topuria is by far my favorite fighter. I think he's the most exciting fighter in the UFC. He put on an awesome performance tonight, stopping Charles Oliveira in the first round, knocked him out cold. It was really impressive because coming into this fight, you had a lot of people saying that Charles Oliveira, you know, very well may have a chance of pulling this off, being that this is Ilia Topuria's first fight at lightweight, you know, and it's for the vacant title. And Charles Oliveira is a former, you know, champion in the division, you know, had a long reign, multiple title defenses, and, you know, he's been impressive his whole career. He's a Hall of Famer, right? And just to mention the size of him, I mean, he is a big lightweight, and a lot of people were questioning whether or not Ilia Topuria could actually pull this fight off and win. And he did it in impressive fashion. In fact, this is exactly what he said he was going to do coming into the fight. And a lot of people thought that was, you know, kind of crazy. And not too many people are too fond of Ilia Topuria, and I don't really know why. I think they mistake his confidence and belief in himself for cockiness. And yeah, I mean, we had a lot of people booing him in the crowd tonight. And going into this fight, like I said, it was a highly, on paper, it was going to be a highly competitive fight. And just to break the fight down, it looked like Ilia Topuria, almost every shot he throws, he's loading up on. He's wanting to knock his guy out and get him out of there with almost every single shot. But he had landed a couple and ended up cutting Charles Oliveira, and Charles Oliveira tried going for a takedown. They rolled to the ground. Ilia Topuria got, you know, on top, you know, and defended it pretty well, and he maneuvered out of a leg lock. The referee stands him back up. Charles Oliveira didn't want to stand back up, but the referee brought him back up, and moments later, you know, he's landing a couple more shots, and then boom, right hand right on the chin, puts him out cold, followed by a left hook. And then once he hit the ground, you could tell he's out, but Ilia Topuria threw like two hammer fists. It was a vicious knockout. I mean, honestly, I thought Charles Oliveira would give him more competition, but I was favoring Ilia Topuria. I think Ilia Topuria right now is proving that he is the pound for pound best fighter in the UFC. During the broadcast, they were mentioning that Ilia Topuria would be the fastest two-weight champion in UFC history. I mean, and you start looking at I keep on calling him Charles, Ilia Topuria, right? And comparing him with other, you know, past featherweights and lightweights. I mean, one name that comes to mind, you know, is Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor obviously fought in the southpaw position. Ilia Topuria fights in orthodox. But both were featherweight champions that moved up to lightweight and captured a title as well. You know, I mean, if you look at the two, I mean, Ilia Topuria still has quite a bit of time left in his career, but I think he'd be right up there with the Conor McGregor, and I think on paper that'd be a great fight, you know, but that fight will never happen. But one fight I was looking forward to happening, and it's not going to happen because the title was vacated, was against Israel. I mean, Israel is regarded as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters, if not number one, right, in a lot of people's eyes. But he vacated the title and moved up to welterweight, right? He's wanting to do the same thing Ilia Topuria just did, go up in weight and capture another title in another weight class. And, you know, now I don't think we're going to get that fight, but who knows? Maybe later on down the line, maybe Israel comes back down in weight and that fight happens. But, man, Ilia Topuria, I think, is the most exciting fighter, you know, possibly the best fighter in the sport. And sky's the limit. I mean, they got Paddy They come into the ring after the fight, and they did a little face-off, and words were exchanged, and it led to Ilia Topuria shoving Paddy back. But I think that's going to be the fight that's lined up next for the two. So, I mean, all in all, I think it would sell a lot of tickets. I think a lot of people would be excited to see the fight. I don't think Paddy's on the level of Ilia Topuria. I haven't seen nothing too impressive with Paddy over the course of, these years since he's really, rose in popularity and whatnot. But, hey, they got a backstory. They're going to sell it, and I think it's going to be a big fight, and I definitely would be tuning in. But those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys thought about the fight, and what do you guys think about a Topuria versus Paddy fight. Let me know. Hate, like, comment, subscribe.